The boarding gate buzzed with chatter and rolling suitcases. Row by row, passengers scanned their tickets and walked down the jet bridge. The line moved smoothly, until Naomi Richards, a poised black woman in her early 40s, reached the counter. She smiled as she handed her passport and ticket to the gate agent. "Morning," she said warmly. The agent scanned her ticket, then frowned. "I'm sorry, ma'am," she said, her voice suddenly sharp. "There's a problem with your booking." Naomi blinked. "A problem? I booked weeks ago. Please step aside while we resolve it." The people behind her sighed impatiently. A man muttered, "Always someone slowing things down." Naomi stepped aside quietly, confusion rising in her chest. She watched as others boarded with no issue, even those who'd checked in after her. 5 minutes. 10 minutes. Finally, she asked, "Could you please explain what's wrong?" The agent sighed. "We can't verify your ticket, ma'am. It doesn't look legitimate." Naomi's heart dropped. "Excuse me? I booked it directly from your airline." The second agent joined in, whispering something under her breath. Naomi caught only one word. "Scam." Her hands trembled. "Are you saying I forged my ticket?" The agent shrugged. "I'm saying you can't board this flight." And just like that, the woman who'd done everything right was being treated like a criminal. But what no one knew was that within the hour, someone very powerful would walk through that gate, and this airline would regret every second of how they treated her. Naomi had spent months planning this trip, a leadership conference in New York where she'd been invited as a keynote speaker. It was her first major speaking event, representing her nonprofit that helped underprivileged girls pursue STEM careers. She'd saved, prepared, rehearsed. But now, standing at the boarding gate with everyone staring, all she could feel was humiliation. "Ma'am," the first agent said curtly, "please step away from the boarding area. You're holding up the line." Naomi took a deep breath. "I'm not leaving until you check again." The second agent crossed her arms. "We did check. Your name doesn't appear on our first-class manifest." Naomi opened her phone, pulled up the confirmation email, and showed it. "Right here. Flight 218C2C, booked directly through your website." The agent barely glanced at the screen. "That could be doctored. Happens all the time." Naomi's eyes widened. "Doctored? You think I faked this?" Behind her, people started whispering. A teenage boy said quietly to his mother, "Why won't they let her on?" His mother hushed him. "Stay out of it." Naomi turned back to the counter. "Call your supervisor," she said. "She's busy," the first agent replied flatly. "Please move aside." Naomi's throat tightened. "This is unbelievable." She looked around, at the crowd of eyes watching her, at the man filming from 2 rows back, at the family she'd once hoped to inspire someday. But then, a voice behind her broke the silence. "Is there a problem here?" Everyone turned. A tall man in a gray suit stepped forward, phone still in hand. "I've been recording for the past 5 minutes," he said calmly. "This woman showed proof, and you're still refusing her?" The agents exchanged glances. "Sir, this doesn't concern you." "It does now," he said. "Because I'm emailing this to your corporate office." Naomi blinked. "Thank you," she whispered. He nodded. "No one should be treated like that." Minutes later, 2 uniformed security officers approached. The taller one said, "Ma'am, you'll need to come with us." Naomi's stomach turned. "On what grounds?" "Ticket fraud investigation," the gate agent said quickly. Naomi froze. "You can't be serious." But they were. They asked for her ID again, took her phone to verify the booking, and escorted her to the side hallway near the gate, away from the passengers now whispering louder. The man who had defended her followed. "This is wrong," he said. "She's being profiled." The officers turned. "Sir, please step back." "I'm not stepping anywhere," he said firmly. Then, just as the tension reached its peak, the automatic doors at the gate opened again, and a new voice entered the room. Calm. Authority in every syllable. What's going on here? The agents froze. Naomi turned, and her breath caught. She recognized the face instantly. It was Evelyn Grant, the CEO of the airline. Evelyn Grant wasn't supposed to be there. She was traveling under the radar that morning for a surprise audit, checking her airline staff performance unannounced. Now she stood before them, watching two security officers detain a passenger who was clearly calm, respectful, and terrified. Evelyn's voice cut through the room. Explain. Now. The head agent stammered. Ms. Grant. We didn't know you were. Explain. Evelyn repeated. She, presented a suspicious ticket, the agent said quickly. Didn't match our system. Evelyn looked at Naomi. May I see it? Naomi handed over her phone. Evelyn scanned the code. The airline's internal app confirmed it instantly, valid. C2C. Verified through corporate booking. Her jaw tightened. She's fully checked in, Evelyn said coldly. And you tried to stop her from boarding? The agent swallowed. It must have been a... Don't, Evelyn interrupted. Don't say mistake. I've been in this business long enough to know what this was. The entire gate had gone silent. Naomi stood still, unsure whether to cry or speak. Evelyn turned to her. Ms. Richards, on behalf of our entire company, I am deeply sorry. Naomi exhaled shakily. Thank you? I just wanted to get on my flight. Evelyn nodded. You will, and I'll personally see to it. Then she turned back to her staff. You, she said, pointing at the gate agents. Report to my office Monday morning. Both of you. They looked pale. She turned to the crowd. Ladies and gentlemen, this woman is not the problem. The problem is how we treat people based on assumptions. Applause rippled through the waiting area. The teenage boy clapped first. The man who'd filmed everything nodded with tears in his eyes. Naomi just stood there, speechless. 15 minutes later, Naomi finally boarded, escorted not by security, but by the CEO herself. As they reached her seat, Evelyn said quietly, I'm ashamed this happened under my watch. But I promise you, it won't again. Naomi smiled softly. Thank you for standing up. Evelyn nodded. No, thank you for your grace. You handled it better than most of us would. As the plane took off, Naomi looked out the window, tears in her eyes, but her head held high. What had started as humiliation had become something greater, a reminder that sometimes, justice doesn't come from shouting. It comes from being seen. When the video hit social media, it spread like wildfire. Millions watched the moment Evelyn Grant, the CEO, stood up for Naomi at the gate. Headlines read, Airline CEO steps in after staff refuse black woman boarding. Company vows policy reform. In interviews, Naomi didn't seek revenge or praise. She just said, I didn't want attention. I just wanted fairness. But maybe this will help someone else be treated with respect next time. The airline launched mandatory empathy and bias training for all staff within weeks. Evelyn personally wrote to Naomi, inviting her to speak at the next Employee Leadership Summit. And Naomi? She used the moment to teach the same lesson she'd always lived by. Respect shouldn't depend on your skin, your seat, or your status. It should come automatically. What would you have done if you saw her being stopped at the gate? Would you have stayed silent, or spoken up? Tell me in the comments below, your voice matters. If you believe in fairness, courage, and the power of speaking up, hit like, share, and subscribe for more real stories that reveal the truth about justice, respect, and humanity. Because in a world full of gatekeepers, be the one who opens the door.